All right, we're at a special location today. I've got to thank one of my friends here for setting us up here. This is really a treat to be able to come back here in this closed location that's on private property. It's an abandoned hospital at one point, orphanage, and treatment center. And this is one of the newer buildings on the property, built in probably the late 60s, called Caris Hall. This was the men's residence here on the site. And there's this really cool old water tower here that towers over the town. And it's got some vultures living on it and a bunch of antennas up there. And it's just such a treat to be able to come back here and actually see this after all these years. We got permission from the resident to come back here and have a few minutes here just to take some pictures and have a look. You see the 6-car garage over there for the vehicles when it was the orphanage, I imagine, and the different buildings. And they said that this was started, the orphanage part of this was started after the war, and by that they meant World War I, probably around 1917, 1919, in the 20s. It was for the children of veterans soldiers who had died in World War I, who didn't have a place or family to take care of them. They were sent here to live, and they had 80 or 82, something like that, children in residence here at the biggest point. And this is my friend Fred Aker, longtime resident, lifelong resident of Otter Lake, right, Fred?
Born here.
And he knows more about Otter Lake history than anybody else I know. Look at him shaking his head.
I don't know about that.
But I'll cut that part out. Anyway, how about the road that used to run along the lake out here? Was that called a different name at one time? Or?
No, not that I know of. I remember the man that helped make it.
I just remember at one point you talking about plot.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Babies.
This building here was the nursery for the younger children, and it has the emergency staircase on the side. This one here has the tube-type fire escape on the side, and several buildings I've been in when I was a little kid in our town had those kind of tubes on the side. We used to climb up inside of them and slide down for fun in the summertime.
Yeah.
You ever do that when you were a kid, Fred? Climb up in one of those and slide down?
No.
But anyway, this looks like it'd be a heck of a place to live. You got a basement level, and then you've got 2 full stories plus the attic up there. And I'll bet they used every inch of that space back in the day, because you know they would be living frugally and having to do that. This was the American Legion that sponsored this, wasn't it?
American Legion Children's Home.
American Legion Children's Home.
Billet that started out.
Children's billet. Okay,
Yeah.
we used the military terms. That's pretty interesting. I imagine the little houses there started out as caretakers and workers' homes, and were maybe added on for maybe later. Older teenagers might have lived in some of them at one point, or.
And the Hillcrest, the stone building over there, that was they had some residents living there.
All right, let's go check out the rest of the property. All right, this is one of the older stone buildings on the property here, and this one was called Hillcrest. And it's made out of raw field stone, all cemented together. And it's a pretty cool old building, still in very good shape, relatively speaking anyway. And then he said there was another building right over here next to it called Lakeview, you said? Lakeside. And all that's left over here is the old foundation. We're just going to go have a look at that too. Oh yeah, here, oh that's a big foundation, isn't it? Yeah, look at that, full basement down there, trees growing up in it, and some posts. A little bit of furniture down in there too still. After all these years, there's still some furniture down there. Very interesting stuff. There's your fieldstone walls with the footer beams mounted on there still. Very interesting. And it wasn't just about utilitarian. They have a decorative fountain over here too. Look at this decorative stone fountain. That is awesome find. Look at this. Isn't that something? Just very nice cut stonework here. Setting up here with a fountain in the middle coming up. Covered in lichens and moss now. I got the back side of this hill here. That's very cool. And then Looks like a fence running along behind it at one point, and then sloping down. The property slopes down to the lake. And one more abandoned building over here I wanted you to see is the old laundry building that looks like it's got a nice roof on it still. The shingles are all pretty good, but the building itself's kind of rough looking. We'll just have a quick look here. Look at all the growth over the cement here, like almost totally enclosed. You can tell nothing's been done here in quite a while. These giant manhole covers here in front. And we're going to look inside. Oh, look at this. Isn't that something? Ventilation fan up there in the attic. Lots of piping and stuff in the back room I can see still. And then we got the glazed walls over here, which tells me this was something wet was done in here because they want to protect it from the elements with the glazed tile. Look at that. Yeah, table of some sort.
That looks almost like a physical therapy.
It does. Looks like an examination or physical therapy table.
Could be examination table. Huh?
A microwave, which certainly doesn't date back to the beginning times of this building, but all in all, this is still pretty impressive to see this after all these years still here. Very nice indeed. There's this interesting stairway that leads down here too on the side. We're probably not going to go down there, but there's a huge, which I didn't even notice, that giant chimney smokestack there, Fred. That's probably an incinerator, wouldn't you think, or a boiler stack for the heating plant here.
That's what I think was a heating plant here.
We think this was probably the heating. Can I go down the stairs?
Heating plant and the laundry.
We're gonna go down these stairs, even though I don't think I should, because I can't see the stairs. I'm probably gonna fall. Oh yeah, look at the giant boiler in here. Oh yeah, this was definitely, that looks like a coal boiler. Oh yes. There's like these big hearth ovens down there where you'd like shovel coal into, Fred.
Yeah.
Can't really see them that well with the lighting. There you go. Can you see those? There's these giant hearths there. It look like they'd be coal fired. A steel coated fire door there. Steel crusted fire door. Another sort of boiler type hot water equipment right here with a plate on it. I don't know if you see the plate or not there. There you go. I'm not going to go any further back in here because it looks dangerous, and I'm not into getting hurt here today, so we're just going to show this as best we can, which isn't very good. All right, there we go. We're filming a little bit more here, trying to get a better look. All right, we're back out. And a quick run back here around the corner. This really cool smokestack up here. An air vent and some windows. Another door to the back of the furnace room. And then out to like a little swampy lake area out back. Very fascinating. And there's some other cement buttress over there on the side of the hill. Could have just be a retaining wall. It's fun. One of the dangers of urban exploring. I almost fell up the stairs, pulled my ankle a little bit. I'm okay. And off we go to see one more building here on the property. All right, here we are coming up to the recreation hall, and Fred says he used to play basketball here.
I didn't play.
Oh,
I just watched.
He watched him play basketball here. Okay, that's fine. And this particular building is on the footings and foundations where the original TB sanitarium stood on the property. Dr. Marsh's TB, which stands for tuberculosis for all of you young folks out there, tuberculosis hospital, or sanitarium as it used to be called, was here on the property back around, what, the 1890s, turn of the century?
I think it was around 1915 it burned.
Okay, right, 1915 it burned, right before the World War I, and then right after World War I it was rebuilt into the orphanage. So we have some pictures.
For the orphanage, yeah.
We'll have some pictures of the hospital from back in the day that I found online that we'll put in right here. And then we'll put some pictures in of the orphanage if I can find some from back in the day. I don't know if I can or not, but we're going to just come up here and check this out. I doubt if this building's been used. And there's something. What's this old foundation over here, Fred?
Okay, that was another 2.5-story or 3-story building. We actually attended school here.
Watch out for the sinkhole. You did? Your schools?
One of our grades come up here. 7th and 8th grade, I think, attended here.
Wow. Let's look at this. You can see this is really falling apart here on this building. This is really starting to go. I imagine that was just some sort of shed there, or outhouse maybe?
That was
probably a shed.
Pump house.
Pump house, okay. Alright, this is...
That was old. It had 2 stories on top of that.
Really? On top of this, there's 2 stories up from here, huh?
Yeah.
And that was a school? Or...
And that was the school.
Okay.
And one time...
Let's have a look inside of the basement here, shall we? This would have been a basement, right? You'd call it that? Okay. Lots of... Oh, look at that rotten stairway there. Lots of drain tile and pipes here. Rotted wood that's fallen in over the years. Looks like parts of the roof maybe even down in there. This has been empty and rotting away a long, long time. Oh, fascinating. Very cool. Some different angles here. Maybe be able to get some good still shots off the screen and post them up on my Abandoned Places website. That's excellent. Fred said this used to be a driveway. Now you can see the pavement, which is still barely visible here amongst the grass and weeds, but you drive right around this building.
Probably at one time the school bus came up here and dropped us off.
Ah, okay. Fascinating. And over the years, like I said, it's morphed into different uses. The windows are in there now. Looks like they probably date back to the 70s from the style of the mullion bars and the way the windows are put in. All right, we'll walk around the building for now. Yes, I got you. You ever metal detect back here?
No.
No? I would think maybe around these foundations and that you might find some old coins and stuff.
But this driveway used to run on. The children used to swim off this point down here. The children from the American Legion home and the people that attended the substance abuse rehabilitation center.
Yep.
Down there, there's a nice beach right off the point.
I see.
And
That's a pretty piece of property.
yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't tore it all down and built houses back in here.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, you can definitely see where the road came right around here and curved around and right on out. Look at the wide staircase there.
well, they had to have it. That's when they had basketball games.
Oh yeah.
Then we have a lot of people coming down through here.
And it's all cement, poured cement. You can see it's all cracked. Right up the middle, back and forth, one big crack, like all the way from the bottom to the top.
Probably the ground settling
Yep.
underneath.
Now this is really fascinating. Someone has forced this door here open, had it padlocked, and really doesn't look like there's anything in there to be worth forcing your way into, but people are curious. They come out and want to see what's here.